welcome to another Torpid cast. We've got a middling Mondays here for you guys today. Now, don't get me wrong, I think Jones is actually a pretty intermediate player, to be honest. I'm not really sure who Pacifist is. Maybe this is Fathom. I feel like it could be Fathom. He loves his mononyms. You know, a single word as his name. He loves that shit. But it might not be him. I don't know who it is. So it's a middling Mondays, but it's a bit of an intermediate thing. We'll see how it goes. I haven't watched the game before, so I don't know if there's going to be a lot of fuck-ups. But it's on Ashes of Typhon, and to be honest with you, I've not cast a game on Ashes of Typhon in a hell of a long time. It's also got Orcs vs Eldar, which is a matchup that I'm pretty interested in as of late. I just managed to get second place in the Still Alive tournament that was on last Saturday at the time of upload. So yeah, that was interesting. My opponent was Blood Rain, who won and ended up getting 350 USD. I got 150 USD for it. And he played Eldar in all three games and wrecked my ass. But the first matchup that I did was What Spider Excite vs Commando Nob on Caldaris, and then I just was like, fuck it, I'm just going Grey Knights. And my Grey Knights got absolutely stomped. So that's one thing. The Eldar vs Orc matchup is something I'm really interested in at the moment. I think it's a really good matchup. I think it's very balanced, really fun. I think Warboss is probably one of the best options that you have as the Orcs. But to be honest, it seems to be all map dependent. I actually think on a big map like this, Warboss is probably one of the worst options, because his charge armor is going to be pretty useless. The map doesn't have enough shot blockers to really be relevant. It's just like 3 lanes where you end up running into potential shurikens. I don't like looters either, because rangers are actually really decent in this matchup to force the shooters to move forward into the bait of a shuriken firing arc. I actually think the rangers are a little bit overpowered at the moment. I don't know why these shooter boys are not retreating. It was really unnecessary there. I could have just backed them off. Didn't need to retreat really, but well, he did in the end, thanks to being so slow. Banshees are actually going to get caught by the looters really nicely here. It's going to be them having to force off. Oh, even the Warboss gets caught. Come on, Pacifist. Jesus. It's not worth it for a wreck point that they're going to capture back real soon, when you could have got a decap on these two as well. You know, plus 10 for a few seconds. It's not really worth it when you could have denied the enemy plus 30 over here for longer, you know what I mean? Ardboy's already coming up. Oh, you're kidding me? I've got sound bug? Already? Wow, that was quick. I've got sound bug already, guys. Can you believe it? You know what? I went all of the tournament on Saturday without getting a sound bug, and that was like 10 games in a row. I could not believe it. It's way more than 10 games. What am I talking about? The tournament lasted fucking 10 hours. Yeah, no sound bugs. But I've got a sound bug here. So I'll be right back. Okay, part 2 commencing after we return from our little sound bug interlude. I've no idea where I was at. Fucking sound bug, man. What a plague it is. So we'll see how the looters do. We do see the rangers. It's just, why would you not get rangers, man? They're just so good in the matchup. You know, it cooks the Warboss when he goes to charge, which he does like to go for in this matchup, because obviously the charge is useful to help counter the shurikens. And also, you get a damage buff after charging, 35%, that's not insignificant. And it really helps in this matchup because it helps you one-shot Guardians after you charge. Really nice. Let's see. So he's going to get some attacks off. He gets a special attack though, which is actually worse for him because it doesn't do a lot of damage, does the special attack from the Warboss. It's nice because it's 360 AoE knockback. It's good when you're like supporting your melee squads in a melee fight, but when he's on his own, you'd rather he didn't get the special attacks. And he kind of just gets cooked because he charges prematurely into the weapon team. So this is looking really awful for Pacifist. Oh, he actually snuck the sluggers around with burners. That's actually really nice. It's going to force the Guardians back, but they're not going to be able to deal with the sluggers on their own. Guardians need to be careful. If he actually micros the sluggers and he can just melee down the Guardians. They don't have a grenade. Anyway, Rangers. What did they do down bot? What was bot? They're just shooters, right? Yeah, Rangers are nice. They get the pulse, which can cook the war boss when he charges to cancel it prematurely. Oh my god, he wiped the sluggers. I mean, he got 2 gens, which was nice, but wiping the sluggers is kind of a big deal. He did manage to protect his gen farm. Looks like they just managed to get the power node. So I guess in terms of gen trades, that does benefit Pacifist, but dropping your upgraded sluggers, not really worth it. Just big shooters and the shooter boys at the moment. We do see the aspects on the Guardians and the Banshees, and the Rangers. The Rangers just make the looters quite redundant. It's happening down here. Farseer is getting forced off by Storm Boys. I do like Storm Boys in this matchup. I think you should always get them no matter what build you're going for. I like this Looters into Storm Boys build against Chaos. That's one thing I've been doing recently. In the run-up to the tournament that happened last Saturday, I was playing a lot of Orcs. I don't know, I felt like playing Orcs for some reason. I don't really do it very often. And yeah, the Orc versus Eldar matchup and the Orc versus Chaos matchup, they seem like 2 of the most pivotal matchups in the game at the moment. Because Eldar's the best race in 1v1, right? And then Chaos is good as a counter to Orcs. So you encounter those 2 matchups quite a lot. But against Eldar, I don't like the looters. I like Storm Boys, but I'd rather get Storm Boys and really anything other than looters. You can go double Storm Boys. Rain said that's really good against War Spider Exarch. Adila did it to him a few times. It's very strong. Alternatively, you could just go for double shooter, double slugger Storm Boys, and then you can dominate on the side of the map and you can constantly pressure for gem bashes. And you've got to remember, the double slugger has a lot of scaling potential. Sluggers are obviously not great in tier 1, they're very fragile. Grenades in particular are fucking terrifying. When you get to tier 2, you got 2 advantages. You got the slugger knob, which makes them beastly in combat, protects them from range DPS, which is really important because of spiders. You'll see soon how quickly war spiders can kill orcs. Oh my god, it's terrifying. But also they're a repair unit, so it makes things like Death Dreads a whole lot more viable. When you only have 1 slugger, it's not great trying to repair a Death Dread. And of course Pacifist right now has no sluggers, so that's going to really deter him from using any sort of vehicles. Oh man. Banshees are dicing these Storm Boys up. Special attack from the Farseer would be beautiful. Oh god! That was a right combo. Kinetic pulse the Storm Boys into a special attack from the Farseer. The special attacks from the Farseer do so much damage. It's very deceptive. Very deceptive. And you see the Warp Spiders trying to chase and retreat. Now Warp Spiders are one of the few units in Elite Mod that has a special modifier to lower the amount of damage they do against retreating units. Just because even with the, 80% less damage that units take in retreat from ranged, it's still just, they do so much damage, and being a teleporting unit, they're really easy at wiping things on retreat. So it's very scary. So they got that little modifier, but yeah, just look at this. Look how fast they killed the war boss. Nice charge though to give him the extra regen before retreating. That was cool. If they teleport on melee, they might finish him off. Guides them as well, but there's a lot of regen coming in, so he might just be okay. Nice, the suppression comes in then as well. And Jones kind of overcommitted to that engagement, so he really got himself caught out of position. The problem is that Jones currently has double Warp Spiders. Now Warp Spiders are great against Orcs. They can really bleed the economy of the Orcs down, but what the Orc can do is they can beat them in straight up fights with the shooters if the Warp Spiders do not have favourable cover, just because the Warp Spiders are so fragile. They're really expensive to reinforce as well. And out of all the maps that you want to be rocking double Warp Spiders on, this is probably one of the worst, because Warp Spiders should in theory always engage shooters in a favourable scenario.
We have located a strategic point.
Meaning, oh my god, that ranger just got melted. Oh wow, yeah, he needs to be really careful. So what that means with the spiders is that, say the shooters are here, you're going to teleport here behind cover and then shoot them. So the shooters are out in the open, you got cover, so you handily win that. And if they don't retreat very quickly, they're going to start giving models because of the high DPS of the warp spiders. But Ashes of Typhon is one of the maps which has the least amount of cover in the game. There's like basically no green cover. I mean, look at this, it's yellow cover everywhere. Where's the green cover? There's fucking none anywhere. There's no green cover. And a lot of the cover that is there can be destroyed as well by things like the Wartruck running it over. So yeah, it creates a lot of problems. Wartruck is in a really precarious position right now. Double haywire grenade could be brutal. I don't know if he has the energy for it. No, he doesn't. You need to get the Exarch in the Warp Spider squad to increase the HP, the energy regen. Look at the regen here, right? Now look at this. So let's wait for this to get to 60. And then let's wait for this to get to 90 and see where this got to from 60 in that time period. Yeah, so it's like 50% more energy regen. That only got, these guys went from 60 to 70 in the period that these guys went from 75 to 90. It's so significant. And when you're doing lots of teleporting around to make sure you're not caught out of position against the shooters, you really do need that Exarch. Really aggressive teleport here. Using the hollow field is a bit... Oh wow, lucky Banshee special. Banshees need to get out. Use choppers, comes down the sluggers. This is really dangerous with Warp Spiders. They need to teleport again. An unfortunate miss micro there. The Rangers actually get sniped down by the shooters. Just a really awkward engagement by Jones. Look how quick the shooters die though. Oh my god. Warp Spiders just needs to back off before they bleed models. But yeah, man. It just puts so much eco pressure onto them. So he got the Slugger Boys out and he's fully upgraded them. What are that, Banshees? Oh no, Storm Boys. I've just seen the heavy melee indicator. So now he does actually have a best spot for his Wartruck. And Jones is just... I don't know, man. He seems to be capitulating. He's got no map control. What the fuck? How does he even get out of this situation? I don't know. He must get some squad wipes. Is that going to be another grab blade? Levitation field? Wow, no. Just a beautiful special attack from the Farseer. Ard Boys comes down the Storm Boys. Too late. The Warp Spiders are going to kill him. Or maybe not. Oh, no, they keep teleporting into the Looter's firing arc. Looter is actually doing amazing. Really awkward retreat path from the Shooter Boys there. I mean, it would have been expected. Really should have drove the truck further forward so that they could get in the truck and back away. So now this puts Pacifist in a bit of an awkward spot. He's lost one of his shooters and he needs the shooters to try and counter the Warp Spiders. Without them, the melee is going to be so vulnerable because obviously Warp Spiders just teleport away from you if you use melee units and they bleed you. Tier 3 is a pretty legitimate option. I think going Tier 3 and getting Commandos out would be really good. Commandos are one of the best options against Warp Spiders because you can knock them over with Love to Daka, knock them out of the cover and then shoot them to pieces. And they actually do good range DPS as well, pretty much on par for the upgraded shooters. Yep, terrible engagement for the sluggers there. I think it was just a miss micro. Farseer getting jumped by the Storm Boys. Yeah, not really what you want to be doing, especially when she's got the Graph Blade. Note how she can use that ability whilst capping and it doesn't even stop it. Storm Boys do not want this engagement, not while there's Warp Spiders here. They're going to bleed the Storm Boys really quick when they turn around and focus fire. Warboss is now in potential risk of dying in retreat. Yeah, he's going to die in retreat. Banshees are over extending. Where's the Farseer gone? Why is Farseer not meleeing? They've got... Ooh, fair enough. So the other thing to note about Warp Spiders, when you get the aspect of the Warp Spider, it gives the Exarchs in the squad power blades. If you don't have the aspect, they'll just have like the normal guns that the other Warp Spiders have. So when they melee, it does like no DPS. You need the aspect for them to do significant DPS. Oh, Looter's gonna wipe. I don't know why they didn't retreat. Wow. So this is how Jones gets back in the game. He's just going to wipe everything. Kind of fucked up his Spirit Stone's heal. Everything was out of position. Wartruck Shooter is actually going to bleed a Warp Spider model soon. Probably should just go over and haywire the Wartruck for the sake of it. Just to make those sluggers have to actually spend time repairing the truck rather than being out on the battlefield. Was that... Oh no, he teleported. He was just stunned by the Storm Boys. So Fathom needs to hit the retreat. What's she doing? She needs to hit retreat. I don't know why she waited so long. You can retreat while mid-ability. Wow, look at the damage that the Storm Boys took. Jeez. Okay, cool. The War Truck actually finished off the Fathom retreat. Wow, how often do you see that? There's absolutely no power for Jones. But Jones is doing a great job here, taking engagements where he is not bleeding barely at all. I mean, I know he has bled a few Banshees, and obviously he's lost a lot of spiders in this engagement, but he didn't leave the squad, and literally every engagement that Pacifist is having, he's bleeding. He's actually replaced his shooter boys. I think that's a huge mistake. He really should have just gone tier 3 and got flash kits or commandos instead. They just do so much better than basic shooter boys. I mean, commandos and flash kits, they outperform level 4 shooter boys by a significant margin. So to spend all your money and get another level 1 shooter boy squad, it's ill-advised. And at the end of the day, it's not like Pacifist has any reason to try and urgently need more forces. He's up on VPs. So it's not like he needs the army to stay in the game. Rather, Jones is in that situation. It looks like the truck should die here thanks to the hairwires. Yeah, it'll die. And then the heavy melee from the Banshees. Shooters just need to get the fuck out of there ASAP. I don't know why there was any delay on the retreat. Maybe he's trying to get aiming what's that off and he was too slow with the hotkeys. I don't know why he's putting down gates right in front of everyone. Sluggers should not be engaging here. Just look at the damage that the spiders do. You really can't be engaging. Oh, there's a lack of energy here. The double... Wow, okay, well, he made me eat my words. The double teleport didn't come out, and the double globals from the Warbus did come out, and that kind of secured it. Lack of energy really screwed over those Warp Spiders there, not being able to dodge the Storm Boy jump. Bomber Boys coming for the Storm Boys. That's an absolutely vital upgrade in this matchup as well. I was just going to say, this Farsi is doing fucking loads of DPS. Kills a Storm Boy with a pistol. She's level 5 though. And now Banshee's come out of the gate again. This is brutal for Pacifist. He's just dropping squads left, right and centre, and he's not really gaining too much ground. I mean, he's down to 4 units now, but his units are tier 1. Whereas Jones has these double spiders which are slowly levelling up. They're both level 3. They're not even slowly levelling up. They're levelling up rapidly. Just look at this. This is such a favourable trade. Yes, you're dropping Banshee models. He only lost 2 Banshee models. Just look at the DPS and the bleed. Shooters dead left, right and centre. I'm not seeing too much from the Guardians. I would like to see a few more energy shields go down from them. I guess they've mostly been side capping. A lot of investment in the War Boss. I don't really know if this has paid off. I really don't feel like the Angry Bit's paid off. I think the War Boss would have been a lot better off just using Boss Pull or something. Bomber Boys was used quite pointlessly there. It does do decent damage, but you want to wait for a time like this when they're both together. Ideally though, the best time to use Bomber Boys is when you have shooters nearby, so you can knock the Warp Spiders over and then shoot them when they're on their asses with your Shooter Boys. It's a good way to negate any cover bonuses that the Warp Spiders have. Knock them out of cover, then shoot them up. Banshee should have been fleeting into combat there to get the range damage resistance. This is brutal. The Orcs just got no money. Level 4 Warp Spiders. Yep, everything's level 4. Banshee's going to be level 4 in a second. Crazy. And I think Pacifist has really just dug himself into a rut here, because he's got nothing. He can't afford a vehicle. Even if he gets a vehicle, there's double hairwires and a heavy melee Banshee, and you've only got 1 unit for repair support. This is part of the reason why Gretchen will be so useful to the Orcs. You rely on these sluggers so much at the moment as an Orc player for combat in tier 2, because they're really one of your most powerful tier 2 units. Yet, especially if you only go for a single slugger build, which is the most common form of Orc build, you end up with just no repair support. You have to make the choice. Do you use them in for repairs or do you use them in combat? Well, at least next patch, you'll be able to use the global bar, spawn some Gretchen, and have them run around and be your repair unit. And don't worry, the plan at the moment is to make them repair at only half the normal speed that sluggers repair out of the mech boy. But at least you'll have something else that's cheap, low on upkeep, and you don't need to actually dedicate to combat that you can use to repair. And you can see the Warboss there, even with all of his upgrades and his all of the tankiness you get from spiky armor, that is his premium tanky armor. It's a very good tanky armor at that. He just can't stay in combat. Warp Spiders DPS him down so fast. These shooters are going to have no chance. Man. But Bomber Boy's there, so yeah, the Bomber Boy's forces the teleport, and you can combine that with your jump. So you could use the jump first to force the teleport, and then once the teleport's on cooldown, then you Bomber Boys them and follow up with your Shooter Boys to bleed them. Alternatively, you can use like a Weird Boy, but Pacifist just, you know, he didn't go for that. He replaced his Shooter Boys instead, and you can see they just don't trade very favourably at this point. Now that's obviously partially because the Shooter Boys are not both level 4. But even the level 4 Shooter Boys will get wrecked by the Warp Spider squad in head-to-head combat. You need something else to sort of tank the shots, like Slugger Boys under Swamp 'em, like Storm Boys to jump on them, or to waste the teleport with Bomb Boys. And then you can get your real damage in. So we're going to see a Death Dread, and I don't dislike it as a choice at this point. I think that's probably the best thing the Pacifist can do. But I think he's screwed, because the Death Dread is going to take forever to heal up, and it's going to incur loads of damage from the Warp Spider's beautiful Spirit Stone's heal here. This charge from the Warboss seems very premature. I don't know why he's charging in here. Then he uses Hard Boys when the Warboss is only on 250 HP. Absolutely pointless. When you use Hard Boys on your full HP Storm Boys, it's going to be a lot better. It's a percentage-based damage resistance buff. It's not a flat buff, so you want to use it on the unit that has the most HP. I think he's just panicking really because the triple cap is now on and that massive VP lead that he had has slowly disappeared. Now the Death Dread's out, but he hasn't even got Burner and Bits for it yet, so it only has 850 HP. Half of that has now disappeared thanks to double Hairwires, and it can't even attack, nor can it move. Another beautiful Spirit Stone's heal comes in, only one Banshee down, and now a Psychic Storm to deter the Sluggers. There's going to be no time for the cap to happen. The Guardians are up here protecting here, they can delay cap with a grenade. I mean, yeah, he's screwed. Seer Council are going to be coming out soon as well for Jones. This is done. Yeah, this is a waste of time. The Hairwires will be off cooldown pretty soon anyway. And level 4 Banshees are just being the Death Dread. Ha! Crazy. Yeah, far too many Orc Boys were lost here. How to beat it, Pacifists? I think we identified the main problem here. He was dominating quite a lot early on. There was a couple of micro fuck-ups, like here when he lost the Shooter Boys due to the retreat path. That was a crucial engagement. If you just moved the truck forward, put the shooter in, and then backed off, and then tech to tier 3 with his advantage, he had basically all the map. I think Jones kept his power farm captured, but he had no power, and he only had this point and this, and he was attacking here, was Pacifist. That was a great position to go tier 3, get out anything really, get out a looted tank. Warp Spiders and a Banshee squad can't counter a looted tank. You know, I mean, they can if it's sent on its own, but don't do that, that's stupid, right? Keep your shooters nearby. All you've got to do is suppress the Banshees when they charge in to do the heavy melee to follow up from the Hairwire grenade, and the looted tank's going to be fine. 2 shots from a looted tank will basically wipe a Warp Spider squad outright. It also does amazing damage to the Banshees. 3 shots, if they're not using Fleet of Foot, will wipe them as well. Great tool against Eldar due to the high splash damage. But Flash Gates are great as well. You know, they're tanky, they're heavy infantry, so the Warp Spiders don't actually do a lot of damage to them, and they can return with super long range piercing DPS to bleed everything that Jones had. Commandos, the same. He wiped the Rangers. Therefore, the infiltration of the Commandos would have been really good. You can use your Burner Bomb, then you can use Love the Daka. You can force them to waste their teleport beforehand, so they can't dodge the Burner Bomb by using Bomber Boys, with Storm Boys. There's lots of potential here, but by choosing to stay in tier 2 instead, you just put yourself in a situation where you're forced to take engagements against these elite Eldar troops, and you just bleed out your economy. And this happened to me in a lot of the games that I was playing Orcs in the tournament as well. There's 2 things that I realised in the tournament, and that is firstly that losing your gen farm in late tier 2 as the Orcs doesn't really matter that much. this was something that happened a lot in the tournament as well. And for that reason, you can actually opt to go tier 3 a lot sooner with the Orcs than you can with other races like Space Marines or even Tyranids, who rely on shitloads of power in tier 3. And the other thing I realised was the 5 unit tier 1s with the Orcs are extremely strong and nearly always advisable, meaning 5 units plus the hero, so 6 units in total. But yeah, that should give you some insight. Pacifist, if it is Fathom, I believe you do watch the videos, so at least you've got a bit of insight on what you could have done better there. Really, it all just came down to the decision to stay in tier 2 and to not tick up into your tier 3 instead. And I've just realised one other thing, guys. An amendment to what I said earlier about the tournament. On the time of upload now, because of the sound bug and editing and all that bullshit, this is going to be a week later than planned. So actually the tournament wasn't the Saturday before this upload, but the Saturday before that. So I probably won't even have an analysis video on the tournament results yet, but that's something I intend to do in the future. I'm actually going to be going to Scotland during... Well, basically I'll already be in Scotland when this video uploads. For that reason, it's going to be pre-uploaded things. I'll get onto the analysis video maybe next week or the week after. But there you have it. I think that's pretty much all from me, guys. Check out the description. If you've got a bit of cash lying around and you appreciate these videos, you can click the link to my Buy Me a Coffee and send me a donation via that website. There is also regular uploads every Monday and every Thursday at 9 PM UK time, which is UTC -1, BST, whichever. Regular uploads twice a week, so definitely subscribe if you enjoy the content. That's all I've got for you guys today. Torpid out.